Hey everyone, and welcome to Out There with Dean. And today I'm going to take you through some gift giving ideas, which are also some travel essentials. So today we're going to talk about 5 last minute holiday gift ideas and one bonus one as well. So let's get to it. So for the first gift idea, we have a seat pocket extender. Now what this is it's a piece of material that goes over the tray table and essentially gives you a whole lot more storage. Now if you're somebody that flies, or if you know somebody that flies economy quite regularly, this could be a lifesaver. It really does extend that seat pocket that you get in the front of the seat, in the seat in front of you, and just gives you a whole lot more space. So in the video that you can see here now, I've actually got a MacBook Air, a Nintendo Switch 2, a water bottle, all in that pocket extender. Now it could really be a lifesaver for somebody that is doing either longer haul economy trips or even just shorter domestic flights, because a lot of those domestic flights, they don't provide a lot of storage, and if you don't want to have checked luggage on those shorter domestic flights, this could really help you just make sure that all of your carry-on's accessible while you're in flight. The other benefit of the seat pocket extender, as I said, it goes over the tray table in front of you. So it also is a bit of a hygiene protector as well. So it really means that you're not having a lot of contact with the tray table. You're able to put that piece of material over it. And then once you're done with the holiday or with the travel that you're doing, you can just pop it in the washing machine when you get home and wash it, and it'd be ready for use for the next time. So you can keep it on there while you're eating and while you've got different bits and pieces on there, but you're also not having to make sure you sanitize it as well as probably what you would have if you didn't have something covering it. So the second thing that I've got as a gift, and a bit of a travel essential as well, are Loop earplugs. Now these have become really popular as they don't just block out noise, they actually just reduce noise. So they're really good if you want to sit on the plane or even just sit in a hotel, wear them while you sleep. They won't block out all of the noise, that's not what they're intended to do, but they're really intended to bring that noise level right down. They're really great if you're traveling via train as well. So if you've got a long train journey ahead of you where you want to try and get some sleep, but you still want to be aware of where you are and some of the stops that are coming up, or even on a bus where it's quite noisy but you need to hear certain announcements, these are really good. They're quite affordable as well, and you can get multiple pairs for a really good price. They're quite a great stocking filler as well, and something that would be valued for most travelers really. So number 3 on my gift list is a bit of an odd one, and maybe not ideal for every traveler, but something that I've actually used a number of times now, and it's a snorkel set. So if you do a lot of beach holidays or a lot of cruising holidays as well, or you just like to be in the pool and you want to snorkel, a snorkel is really a game changer. Now, there'll be a lot of experiences on a cruise, or there'll be a lot of destinations where you can actually hire a snorkel. A couple of things about hiring a snorkel. There's a piece that needs to go in your mouth. I'm not necessarily that comfortable with that, even if they are sanitizing it. It's living in your mouth and it's living in multiple people's mouths. I think that's reason enough to actually have your own snorkel set if you're planning to go snorkeling in any destination. And there's some really great destinations around the world where you want to snorkel, you want to be able to see what's under the water. The other reason is for the cost of a snorkel set, and a fairly okay one on Amazon. It's usually around the price of what it would cost to hire a snorkel for an hour. Actually even cheaper in some destinations. So I know if you're traveling through the Caribbean or the Great Barrier Reef, some of the snorkeling rental prices can be quite exorbitant, and having your own snorkel and being able to pop that on, it means you're not tied into a particular area as well. You can actually snorkel wherever you feel comfortable, but you're not paying that hiring fee. On a cruise, that can really add up. If you've got a number of cruise destinations where you want to do snorkeling at each one of those, that can really add up, and you can be in the hundreds of dollars just to get that snorkel. It really is something that will save a traveler a lot of money, but also make them feel a whole lot more comfortable because they're not putting their mouth on something that a whole lot of other people have had their mouths on. I highly recommend it, and it's such a great stocking filler as well. So number 4 on the list is something that I'd be surprised if every traveler didn't already have, but it never hurts to have another one, and that's a converter cube. So gone are the days, I think, of the single converter plugs where you would buy a particular converter for the destination that you're going to. People may still be using those, but really what's more handy now is one of these converter cubes. Now these converter cubes basically can work anywhere around the world. They're really compact as well, and most of them will come with multiple USB ports on the side. So not only are you getting the plug converter, you're also getting some USB plugs as well, where you can just plug your devices directly into the cube to charge them. The great thing about these as well is they're not surge protected. Now that might seem like a downfall, but again, if you're going on a cruise, cruise boats or cruise ships, don't allow you to bring anything that's surge protected on board. It messes with their electrical system. So a converter cube is really ideal. The one that I'm showing here, it actually comes with a spare fuse. Converter cubes typically won't convert current, or voltage. So you need to make sure that the devices that you're plugging into this converter cube are multi-voltage accepted. And the converter cube itself has a fuse, so it comes with that replacement if you need to replace that at any time. But look, most travelers would have some sort of converter plug adapter. As a gift, you can never have too many. I know that when I'm traveling, even if I have multiple converters or power boards, it never feels like enough. So a really great stocking filler, and something that's relatively inexpensive as well. So number 5 is a bit of a bigger ticket item as a gift, but something that a lot of travelers can't live without. And if you're a regular traveler, especially long haul plane travels, you really don't want to go without it, and that's carry-on luggage. So good carry-on luggage. I use a brand called July Luggage. I love it. It comes in some brighter, funkier colors as well, so you can really identify your luggage quite easily. They also, as you can see here, they offer a service where they can personalize that as well, so they can just brand your name on there, which I kind of like. Look, the luggage that I'm showing here and some of the things that you probably want to look for is, I always look for a hard shell carry-on luggage. I think hard shell just provides a little bit more protection for the things that are in there. I also would always make sure that it's a 4-wheeled sort of spinner wheel arrangement on the bottom. 4-wheel just makes it so much easier, and you want something that's relatively lightweight. Especially if the traveler that you're buying for is going to be flying with some budget airlines, they will often weigh your carry-on luggage. So you really want to make sure that you've got something that starts off as lightweight. The reason why I like the July luggage, one, it's TSA approved, so it's got a combination lock on there, but it's a TSA lock, so there's no trouble if it needs to be stowed away and it needs to be checked. But it has so many different compartments, and it's got this compression system in there as well. So part of the wall, one of the walls on one of the sides actually acts as a compression piece, and it really does help when you've got some day clothes that you want to take in there, to just compress those down so you can get a little bit more in there. The other thing I love about this luggage is that it's actually got a power bank built into it as well. From my other video, my travel essentials, I really couldn't underestimate enough that a good power bank is so important to travels. Having a second one and a backup one is really, really essential as well for me. This is great if you're stuck at the airport and charging ports aren't readily available, or even if you don't trust the travel ports. There's a lot of data hacking that can happen, especially with USB, direct USB plugs. It's really great to have that second option, that second power bank option that's built into the luggage. The great thing about this one as well is the power bank actually pops out. So you can pop it out. If your bag does need to be checked, you cannot check it with the power bank in there. So if you're looking for one that does have a power bank in there, make sure that it can be removed as well in case it does need to be checked, because you need to take that on the plane with you. One of the other things I really love about the July luggage is, you can see there, it's got like a built-in pocket, which is essentially for a dirty clothes bag. And that's really important when you're, especially on a longer trip, you want to be able to separate your dirty clothes and your clean clothes. You don't want them all messed around and together. I've got a number of July bags, so I've got a number of those dirty clothes bags. One I would typically use for shoes, and then the other one I use for my dirty clothes. One of the other great things about having a hard case carry-on bag as well, and if you buy them from the same family, like if you buy July ones, they nest into each other, so it can be quite handy for storage. But the smallest one, which is the carry-on, I actually keep all of my little incidental travel bits and pieces in there when I'm not traveling. So I live in a 2-bedroom apartment, space is limited, so I really do need to have a lot of storage options, and the carry-on case is such a good little case to store all of my little bits and pieces, some of the things that you've seen in this video in between my travels. And now for a bonus. I've done 5, so this is the bonus one. AirTags. I specifically use Apple AirTags. They are only for, or can only be used with iPhone users. So there are equivalents for Android and other devices, but really AirTags are lifesavers. I've got one in literally every piece of luggage and everything that I have. I've got one in my carry-on, in my checked luggage, in my backpack, on my keys. I have an AirTag everywhere, so it just really ensures that if my bags are not going to be with me, I know where they are essentially. And if they do get lost, it's easily and more readily trackable than what it would be relying on an airline or a cruise ship or a train or a bus or anything like that. I can really pinpoint where they are. They give off a little chirp as well. If you use Find My and you need to find the device or the item, look, with a piece of luggage, hopefully you're not leaving that or losing that within your hotel room. But for things like keys and maybe smaller backpacks or wallets, it's really invaluable. You can find your equipment really, really quickly. I wouldn't travel without them now. I know some people are still a little bit funny on them, but really they're a lifesaver, and you don't know that you need them until you really do need them. So that wraps up my gift giving guide for the traveler in your life. If you've liked this video, give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe. It really does help the channel out. Thank you for everybody that's been watching so far. Have a great holiday and wonderful new year. I'll be shooting videos all around the world and making more videos for you to watch. Thank you and bye.